Who killed Nipsey Hussle? It's not who you think. Stay tuned to the big picture. Who killed Nipsey Hussle? Conspiracy theories abound. From the government to pharmaceutical companies to doctors who did not like the fact that he was going to bring forth some remedies and some treatments that had been formulated by a doctor who previously died under suspicious circumstances. I've heard many theories, but here's what we know. Eric Holder was arrested, an African-American man who is from the Crenshaw area. We know that he was arrested for shooting and killing Nipsey Hussle. When I ask the question, I'm not asking who pulled the trigger. I'm asking a much larger question. Who's responsible? And here's my shocking accusation. We are all in some way responsible for the murder, for the death of Nipsey Hussle. You may think, well, what are you talking about? Well, in short, in this country, we are obsessed with guns. We suffer from gun mania. We suffer from gun sickness. Did you know that there are 393 million guns in the United States of America? Now, that's 1.2 guns for every person that lives in this country. There are more guns than there are people who live in this country, and that's not by accident. Guns are glorified. I've heard people say that guns don't kill people, people kill people. You know what? My response to that is guns are instruments of death. That's why they're created. So people with guns kill people, and guns make it abundantly more convenient and easier to kill other human beings. Let's call it what it is. I don't know why we are so obsessed this Second Amendment right to bear arms. I don't think that in the context in which that amendment was originally conceived of, it had in its mind for people to be able to have as many guns in their house for the reasons that they have them. But we allow the gun lobbies, the National Rifle Association, to buy and control our elected officials. We all know, and it's not even that big of a secret, that the gun lobbies contributes millions and millions of dollars each year to pay for and to own and to control our elected officials. So the will of the people consistently is thwarted. And whenever there's a major shooting somewhere in the United States, then we get up in arms for a few moments. But then what the gun lobbies know is that our ability to stay focused is short-lived. And so they just wait us out. And because we are upset for just a few days, a few weeks, and then we go back to living our lives, we continue to have issues of young people, black, white, young and old, dying at the hands of guns. Now, there's another reason why guns are so prevalent in the United States, is that the gun lobby does a good job of selling fear. And the number one boogaboo or monster that they're selling these guns to protect you against are African-American men. The idea of people dying at the hands of their fellow human beings with the instrumentality of guns, the way that it is construed in this country is that that's mostly minorities. That's mostly black people shooting and killing each other. But last year, there were roughly 40,000 people who died from firearms. But contrary to what people think, the majority of those people who died from firearms were not murdered. 60% of them were the victims of suicide. And of that 60% who died from suicide, 77% were white males. The problem is that this problem of gun violence is not construed and not fully understood as it relates to the objective reality. And so the problem persists. and we have situations and we have issues like this, we have to be more vociferous. We have to be more intentional in terms of standing up to this gun sickness, this gun mania that we suffer from in the United States. I can't get my mind around why people love guns. Guns are instruments of death, but we glorify that in terms of the movies, in terms of the video games. At every point, we tell young men that it's okay, that it's actually desirable to demonstrate your masculinity by the size of your gun or the type of gun. It's complete nonsense. We have got to determine that we are going to break free from this gun sickness. And unless and until we do, we will continue to have instances like what happened to Nipsey Hussle. Now, that's my thought. For me today, that's the big picture. What do you think?